Okay guys, so today we're going to be walking through lesson 4.4, which is all about how to write and solve multiplication and division equations. So if you guys remember from the last video, we talked about how to solve addition and subtraction, and we talked about undoing the operation, or undo the operation. And we are going to use the same method here when we are doing multiplication and division. So thinking about what is the opposite of the operation, how can we undo it? So example 1 says, Juan sold 3 paintings for $45. He charged the same amount for each painting. So each painting is the same amount, and all 3 of them together is going to equal 45. So first let's set up a equation. So we know all of them are going to equal 45 total. We have 3 and we're selling each one for the same amount. So basically, we're going to have to multiply the amount by how many we sold to figure out the price. So we're going to say 3 times an unknown, and whenever we don't know something, we use what we call a variable. So I'm just going to pick, let's say, p. So 3 times p, or just 3p, because remember, whenever a number is right next to a variable, that means to multiply. So now that I have my equation, I can solve for how much each painting costs. So looking at this 3 times p, how do we undo multiplication, or what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide by 3 to both sides, because remember, with equality, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So these 3's cancel out because 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So I'm left with p on this side, and then I'm going to do 45 divided by 5, which is 15. So each painting, one painting, costs $15. And you can always go back and check yourself. You can either do repeated multiplication, add that 15 3 times, or you can just do 15 times 3 to make sure that you get your 45. All right, let's try another one. Example 2, Teresa picked the same number of tomatoes each day. In 4 days, she picked 52 tomatoes. How many tomatoes did Teresa pick? And it's asking us to let n represent the number of tomatoes she picked each day. So I want you guys to write an equation. So what would an equation be to represent this situation? So we know total she has 52. She's picking the same amount every day for 4 days, and we want to figure out how much she's picking in just one day. So I'm going to say 4 times my unknown n equals how many total I have, which is 52. Again, to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides to get n by itself, because I want to isolate it to solve. These 4's cancel out because 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So I'm left with 1n, or just n. And now I'm going to do 52 divided by 4 to see how many tomatoes she's picking in one day, which is 13. So every single day she's picking 13 tomatoes. All right, let's try a division problem now. So example 3, the 15 members of the ski club go on a group ski trip. Student groups receive a special rate on a lift ticket that is half off the daily rate. Write and solve an equation to find t, the total cost of their lift tickets. So over here, this is saying that we get half off of 79 if we're a student. So the first thing we want to do is figure out what half of 79 is. So remember, if we're talking about of, we're going to be dealing with multiplication. So I can multiply by 1/2. I can also divide by 2, because multiplying by half and dividing by 2 is the same. I'm going to end up with the same answer. So if I ended up doing 79 times 1/2, I'm going to have 79 over 2, which I then have to divide, which is the same as just doing 79 divided by 2, like I said. So a student discount, they get $39.50 for a ski trip. But I have a group of 15 members, so I want to figure out what their total is, because this is how much one is paying. I want to figure out how much the total group is going to be paying. So if I'm saying the total number divided by how many members there are, because the total price divided by how many people there are is going to be equal to the price of just one ticket. So basically what this is saying is that we don't know how much the total is, but that total divided by how many people there are, that equals the cost of just one ticket. So to find the total, I want to undo my division. I want to multiply. So I'm going to multiply by 15 on both sides. These cancel out. So I'm going to have the total ticket price is $39.50 times 15, because there's 15 people. So I have $592.50 is the total cost of the ski trip if all 15 students go. All right, let's try one more problem. So Helen puts 2,292 stickers in an album. Each page in the album holds 24 stickers. How many pages P can Helen fill? So I know that there are total, I have 2,292 stickers in my album. I know that each page holds 24, and I'm unsure of how many pages there are total. But I know that every single page has 24, so I'm going to end up multiplying those two to figure out what my total would be. So I'm dealing with multiplication. We know to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide. So I'm going to divide by 24 on both sides. These two cancel out. So I'm left with P equals 2,292 divided by 24, which is 95.5. So each page, there's going to be 95.5 pages that she can fill if each page has 24 stickers on it.